In 1884, at the close of the Civil War, Rikers Island was a tiny 50-acre plot of land that barely rose 3 feet out of New York City's East River. The city bought the island and embarked on a project to create the world's largest single population of incarcerated people, a project that would span centuries. To grow the tiny island into the enormous 420-acre warehouse it is today, the developers dumped masses of solid waste into the river. An artificial city, Rikers is built on a pile of trash. To cut construction costs, the city decided to use inmate labor, and working on the trash heap was grueling. It was crawling with rats, and the trash gave off methane gas that would randomly explode. Even today, workers on Rikers are suing the city of New York, claiming that the toxicity of the island itself is giving people cancer.
$20 10 years, they kept throwing, a big amount of years at me, and I'm telling them I'm only 17,
Some dude just grabs you and he doesn't even know the story behind or how you got there or what happened. And he's it's basically somebody accusing you, but with more physicality. It's like being a caged animal. I can't stay in a room for 23 hours or 22 hours straight.
Rikers Island is New York City's main jail complex, as well as the name of the island on which it sits. Operated by the New York City Department of Corrections, it was opened in 1884 and today has an annual budget of $860 million. 7,000 officers and 1,500 civilians control an inmate population that averages between 16,000 to 20,000. It is considered the world's largest penal colony.
I was in Rikers. I was in C-74. I was 17 at the time, so I was in they call them the adolescent. As soon as you get 19, you go to the OTs. OTs is 19 and over, which is the adults.
The Department of Corrections provides custody of males and females 16 and older, who after arraignment on criminal charges have been unable to post bail or were remanded without bail. These detainees who are pending trial constitute about 2/3 of the total inmate population. The island is first stop on the way to serious incarceration.
The place is pretty intense, huh? It's prison.
And it is also the de facto punishment for thousands of young people charged with tic-tac crimes across the city.
My name is Luther. I'm a 16-year-old. I lived over here for a while, maybe 10 years now. And that's basically it. I just try to live the way every teenager is supposed to live.
Luther is one of the young people. Charged with 2 minor offenses, he isn't worried. But if convicted or forced to plead to a lesser charge, Luther could very well see time on Rikers.
I just came from my house, and I went to go check on my friend. And then since I was with him and he was in the scuffle, they grabbed me too, so that's what happened.
For teens like Luther and Aaron, incarceration has been a factor in their lives since they were young.
At the age of 14, 15, 16, I used to ask people questions. Okay, what goes on in there? How does it feel to be in there? And the stories that people gave me, I was scared. Even if they made it seem as so simple, all you gotta do is sleep and do your time. No, it's not like that. And I was so scared. And me growing up, I knew I was gonna be one of those just because I'm a minority, and it's like I felt like, okay, even if I stand in the corner, they're gonna try to pick on me and look for reason to lock me up just so that they could get a paycheck, you know?
Majority of my family, like my uncles and my mom and dad, they've been to prison, and they tell me it's not a good place to be. So I was like, I don't want to go there, but I had the feeling, like in the back of my mind, I'm probably gonna get arrested one day for something I probably didn't do, and that's what happened.
Before landing in Rikers, the first cell offenders are placed in is the holding cell in a police precinct. Luther describes being picked up for the first time, waiting to be processed.
They put you in this tight corridor with the cells, like this tight, and the cells are this way. And then he put me in the first cell right here, and the cell's going down. And then all I do is, and then the cell, there's a wall, like it's like outside, like a wall. And there was a window, and all I did was kept looking at the window the whole time, because there was like a street light there, and I was like, I would kill to be outside right now. I was so angry and depressed. I'm like, oh my God, so they had me waiting there for like hours by myself in that room. And I was looking at that street light, and I was like, damn, I want to be outside. I was thinking of an escape route. Like I was a convict or something. I was like, I'm gonna escape. I was like, I just want to escape, like run. Like, damn, I'm not gonna get away with that. So, like, fucking might as well write it out.
The trauma of being locked up in a cage is felt not just by the person confined to the cell, but friends and family experience the ordeal just as acutely.
Sir, my mom said if I needed help, then she'd call the police.
That's exactly right.
Yes. So, yes.
Before I got locked up, I had a son, and he was 3 months old when I got locked up. That was the part I regretted. I just regret it. I used to think about my son every night. I used to cry. I didn't care who seen me. I used to cry. My mom only came to see me twice. My baby mom only came to see me like 3 times out of a whole year, which is 8 months counted on the island. And it was just like, what used to go through my head was, why did I do it? Why can't I just snitch? Okay, but I didn't snitch because what if I would have came out and they would have caught me on the street?
The fight to stay out of Rikers largely takes place here, at the Bronx Criminal Court Complex. Designed as a joint venture between Raphael Vignoli Architects and DMJM Architects, the facility broke ground on August 14, 2001. Glass is used to convey a sense of openness that stands in sharp contrast to traditional courthouse design. The linear layout of the building wraps around a large central open public space. In the middle of the complex, a freestanding low volume serves as the jury assembly hall, the symbolic and spatial center for the complex. As the commissioner of the Department of Design and Construction in the Bronx said, "It won't feel as if you're going into the dungeons of the criminal justice system."
As an attorney, I represent you and not your mom, and because you're charged as an adult, you don't need your mom's consent. In terms of our relationship, and I can't do what his mom wants me to do with his case.
It's the easy way back then.
For better or worse, you're treated as an adult in this system.
nothing was gonna happen. Come on, I'll do the driving. It's a cinch.
And so, another job for the police and the courts. Johnny Marvin is now in the hands of the law. This is the first time he's been caught, but his delinquent tendencies began long before in the conflicts of an unhappy home and in the hangout of the gang which was his refuge. Now, what will become of this boy? What road lies ahead for this sullen, misguided 15-year-old? Will he be placed in a cell for the night, herded with drunks and criminals, then in the morning paraded in the police lineup? Will he be fingerprinted, photographed, given a permanent criminal record at 15? Will he be sentenced by a judge who knows nothing of the background of Johnny and his family or the reasons behind his behavior? Will he grow up in reformatories and prisons to become a bitter and seasoned criminal? Johnny and 200,000 other youngsters who are arrested each year are America's #1 crime problem. Can't something be done to help these twisted young lives and set them straight?
City officials say it's one of the worst cases of abuse and misconduct in the correction department's history. Prosecutors say correction officers ran what they called the program on Rikers Island, in which they allegedly ordered teenage inmates to beat other inmates to maintain discipline. The scandal came to light when 18-year-old Christopher Robinson was beaten to death in 2008.
Because of these officers who wanted to be, can I say, thugs? Because that's what it appears to me, because they failed to do the job that they had took an oath to do. So, in result of that, my son was brutally beaten.
Have a seat on your bed, face the day room. Place your hand behind your head. If you do not comply with the search,
Because Rikers is a jail, not a prison, most of those serving time here are awaiting trial and cannot make bail. The jail is so overcrowded, with more than 130,000 inmates passing through a year, they have to stay in dormitory-like cells with up to 40 beds. If a correctional officer has a problem during a search, he can use an electronic shield. It gives a low-voltage shock, powerful enough to stop a violent inmate. Correctional officers can sometimes have problems finding contraband, since inmates go to great lengths to hide it. During this search, officers use a state-of-the-art chair called the Body Orifice Security System, or BOSS. It can locate any kind of metal an inmate might have stored in his body.
The daily routine is you wake up, you go to the yard. There's some people like who wanna get the GED, so like they have GED programs. That's a good thing about it. You could play skellies on the floor, card games. They actually brought down a PS2, a PlayStation, and we was actually playing with that. But other than that, like, it's just a waste of time. That's what it is. It's a waste of time. You do nothing all day. You sleep, you eat, you get fat. That's basically it.
You can have freedom to be with your wife or children or your mother or father. Because if I go away, then like there's all stuff I'm gonna miss. Like if I go away for a while, it's not really cool to be in prison. So I just try to think about it as less as I can and stuff like that.
A lot of people that I hang out with, stuff like that, we talk about jail as like a fear factor, you know. And it's like some people, they feel like the need is to get locked up to come out with a better mindset because they don't know what else to do because of the fact that there's no jobs out here for them. They struggle every day to try to find something. They keep getting turned down. They go to offices and they try to look for work like off the books and they can never get anything. So they feel like, okay, listen, well, maybe I have to do this, maybe I have to do that to get my point across. And it's not always like that, and it shouldn't be like that, you know?